right, so today we're going to discuss the impact of artificial intelligence on topics such as change management.
I'm Zachary Copenhaver, a computer engineering major here.
And I am Bernie MacDonald, a robotics engineering major with a minor in computer science. So let's get started. How can leaders be prepared for the change brought by AI?
So, leaders need to ensure that they have a very good understanding of how AI can help users at all levels of the company, from like employees to managers to executives. They need to be able to effectively communicate the benefits and reasons for adopting AI across all levels of the company and make sure that it actually helps everybody throughout the company in tangible ways.
Okay. What kinds of change management strategies should leaders implement to use AI to the benefit of the company and the worker?
So leaders need to have a bold vision for their AI strategy, and they need to tie it to the core business strategy of the company. They can't really just adopt AI because it's a big trend these days. They need to have a solid idea in their mind on how to use AI, and they need to communicate that vision to their employees. That's something I'm going to be saying a lot here: communication. The strategy needs to be coordinated across the whole company, and all levels of the company need to be actively involved in the strategy so that everybody feels like they're actually making a difference in implementing AI.
Okay. What factors would you consider important in establishing an effective change management strategy?
Well, like I said, communication is extremely important. Communication and commitment are the keys. The entire organization needs a very clear and firm understanding of your vision. Executives need to adopt a long-term strategy and fully commit to it. A company that is not fully committed or is hesitant to adopt to a new long-term strategy should not invest or jump into AI. Otherwise, they could get caught up in a situation like the dot-com bubble of like the 90s and early 2000s, where a lot of companies and investors took risks because of the new technology and they didn't really have a lot of solid plans for it. And then, of course, the bubble burst and a lot of people lost a lot of money from that. AI won't simply add profit without human effort to implement and use it. It provides opportunities, and business leaders need to understand how to take advantage of those opportunities.
How can leaders get workers to trust the change caused by AI will be beneficial for them and the company?
So, leaders need to communicate with their employees. That's the big thing. They need to communicate the benefits of the change and why they are doing it. The employees need to know that their leaders know what they are doing, that they're not just stumbling into all of this change right away. They need to make their intentions very clear, and the leaders themselves need to help with the process of implementing the AI.
What should leaders try doing if their workers are resistant to that change?
So leaders should be able to recognize and acknowledge the opposition to change and understand why there is that opposition. They shouldn't dismiss the concerns of their workers. They need to carefully address these concerns and the risks associated with AI. They need to show the workers that the leaders understand their point of view and that they're actually trying to find solutions to these problems and that they have everyone's best interests in mind.
Okay. How can leaders create work environments that are not only accepting but welcoming to the change caused by AI?
So Employees need to be prepared and empowered to accept and carry out this kind of change across the whole company. The leaders need to allow workers to experiment with AI on their own, learn it, work with it by themselves, and come up with their own ideas for how to use it. And they need to be empowered and feel like they can bring up these ideas with their management and actually affect change in the company. The employees need to trust that the leadership has their best interests in mind and actually care about them in their career. They need to be educated on AI so that they actually know how to use it and understand the risks and how to use it responsibly and properly. The goals of the organization need to be tangible and achievable, something that the workers can actually see themselves working towards. And the leaders should be able to foster this kind of accepting culture across the entire company.
How can implementing AI affect soft work functions and the need for humans to fulfill these work functions? How can leaders address fears surrounding this?
So many job functions require a lot of human experience, expertise, and decision making. And many job functions can be automated by machines. And a lot of people are afraid that generative AI is starting to affect these kinds of soft functions, that AI can make them irrelevant or take their job. And leaders need to show that this will not be the case. They need to train people in order to use AI as more of an assistant than as a full worker, as like a helper and not a complete replacement.
How should leaders manage the changes in business operations to effectively integrate AI?
Leaders need to carefully reimagine their company and how it would change with the adoption of AI. Changes will naturally happen because of AI and just the flow of time, but leaders need to actively think about what changes are needed in the company now and how they should happen. The leaders shouldn't just wait for the change to happen. They need to play an active role in thinking about and making that change a reality.